What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and learn about Philomena Cunk's best moments. I had never even heard of Philomena Cunk until only a few weeks ago when I saw a video of her talking about America, but now I get it. I understand. I get the hype because she has such a unique style of humor and comedy, especially for us Americans, I think. Very different to any kind of comedy that we see here. So today I'm very interested in seeing some of her best moments now that I kind of understand what she's all about. I usually say I have no idea what I'm gonna see here today, and with Philomena Cunk, I really feel like I have no idea what I am about to see. So with that being said, let's take a look.
Who are you?
I'm Ian Borden.
Of course, that's how it begins. Of course. I had kind of forgotten the way that Philomena Cunk was. Who are you? What a way to start an interview. Wow.
Who are you?
I'm Ian Borden. I'm a professor of architecture at University College London.
Okay.
What is a building?
A building is anything that anyone has built.
So,
What is going on? What is going on? This is it's just so different to any kind of American humor or comedy. It's fantastic. It's like it's weird. They're so serious. I know that Philomena Cunk is like this kooky, weird character who's an interviewer. But the people that she's interviewing, like, go along with it. Don't they think this is kind of strange? What is she saying? She's like, what is a building? Of course, because of course that's what you ask. Sure. And this guy is a very good sport. He just goes along and answers it like that's not strange.
a building.
A building is anything that anyone has built.
So
Okay.
my shoes are a building. How many three wise men were there?
Who knows? And
Okay. I'm going to try not to pause it so much. These clips are like very short. God. Okay. And the humor. This is another thing about British humor that she does very well. It goes by very quickly. Whereas in the United States, I think our humor is very in your face, and there has to be a pause. There has to be a beat for us to like acknowledge the joke and understand it. But sometimes with this British humor, like it just goes by so quickly, and that's the really funny part, actually.
Three wise men were there.
who knows? And
I don't understand bread sauce.
It's a great way of making a really savoury sauce.
Bread and sauce are two completely different things, aren't they?
Well, they are, but you can grind the bread down and then cook it in milk to make a really good.
What even are these conversations? Like, I don't really understand her show completely. Does she just like get random guests, random experts to come in and talk about everything from buildings to three wise men to bread, I guess?
A really good sauce.
It just looks like sort of jizz.
What did she just say?
Jizz.
I actually don't know what like bread sauce is. And there's no way I'm looking it up after she just said that.
When Henry died, Edward became king, aged just 9 years old.
Edward died aged 15, the youngest anyone had ever died of old age.
When you teach your kids Shakespeare, do their heads grow physically bigger?
no,
What? Again, she has the most understanding interviewees come on the show who totally answer like her earnestly, like, No. Which just, it makes it even better.
To grow physically bigger.
No.
It's comforting, isn't it, to realise we don't have nuclear weapons these days?
Well, it depends who you mean by we. The British have got nuclear weapons and have recently indeed decided to increase the number of warheads that they possess.
Yeah, but they're blanks, aren't they? They're full of blanks.
No, not at all. No.
The freaking nuclear missiles are full of blanks. She is so freaking good at just this deadpan, super serious, super convincing character who's, I don't know, the perfect mixture of, like, naive and incompetent, but also very, like, confident and doesn't know what she doesn't know kind of thing. I like it.
These are fully capable missile systems with nuclear warheads. Many other states have them. I'm afraid that nuclear war and the threat of nuclear destruction remains very much with us.
She's crying. Oh my God. These are so awkward, too. Look at this poor guy.
Right, can we talk about something a bit more cheerful?
Anything you like.
This guy actually feels bad. He feels bad. That's another thing about these. These interviews are kind of like uncomfortable in the perfect way.
Do you like ABBA?
I love ABBA.
Yeah. When a feminist looks in the mirror, do they see an equal woman or a better woman?
They quite often, like all of us, look for what they want to see and they look for what they hope to see.
Oh, wow.
You see yourself back to front, don't you, in a mirror? But not upside down. Why is that?
Well, hopefully, because that's the way that mirrors are designed.
What power's a mirror? Sorry, you're not the mirrors expert, are you? And to add insult to...
The freaking questions. She is so good. If she comes up with some of these questions, like, on the fly, like, impromptu, that's amazing. Like, because a lot of this humor does seem, like, really reliant on her ability to just, in the moment, come up with these funny little statements.
Insult to injury, that money will most likely have a picture of a man on it, because most banknotes don't have women on them, apart from the Queen, who's on all of them. Maybe one day, human beings won't need buildings anymore. Although, for that to happen, we'd probably need to evolve skins made of bricks. And that might take at least another 30 years. But Beth is starving.
I feel like this would do good in the United States. Either Philomena Cunk herself, or like a character like this. This is so unique. There's nothing like this character that she does here in America. Like, this is such a breath of fresh air for me. So unique, so freaking funny, so different to our humor. I really enjoy it.
Startled at dinner by the unexpected appearance of Banquo's ghost, played here for some reason by the letter H.
Which of you have done this?
But what was so great about Henry VIII? Why is he the king we all still remember, unlike, say, Richard V? Well, for one thing, he was fat, so he takes up more room in the memory.
The Andromeda.
God. Oh, and some of her show is like a lot of it is based around history, I think. History, some of it's like current events, though. Some of it's just random. Like, I don't even know what her show is about. I just know that it's great.
The galaxy is going to hit us.
The Andromeda Galaxy, a whole galaxy is going to hit us.
Yeah. On about the same time scale, actually.
So could we fall down a black hole?
Yeah, you could fall into one.
Is that the same? Because I heard that you could be, if, you know, this is one way that the world could end, is that we're all just sucked off through a hole. I mean, that must be terrible. Can you imagine what it would feel like to be sucked off through a hole?
Oh my God. And this guy's face, I didn't even realize I had paused it on this guy's face. Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Back in Queen Victorian
He can imagine. He can imagine. Wow.
times, women weren't allowed to vote, even though we had a female king. So some women formed a gang called the suffragettes.
Okay.
1 in 20 people has been a victim of crime, which means that 19 out of 20 people are criminals. No wonder we need police.
Over the centuries, many things have been used as money, including amber, wheat, eggs, travellers' checks, feathers, book vouchers, lobsters, beads, gold, leather, nectar points, rice.
Just when I thought we were getting to like a serious, I was like, oh, we're learning something about like currency throughout the ages here. Wow, we're getting an educational moment. It's like, no, it's just, of course, it devolves into a joke. Shit, I think that's something really, that's also the great part of this. And maybe it's kind of silly of me to like elaborate like so specifically on what the jokes are. But I don't know. I feel like maybe that's like an American thing. I don't know. Where it's like, as Americans, we feel a need to step back and like acknowledge each joke and be like, this is why it was funny. This is the moment for us to laugh. Where I feel like with British humor and British comedy, it's just like so quick. And you actually have to have like a brain to understand a lot of it and to keep up with it. So that's why I need a moment to appreciate some of these.
Peas, mugs, and money.
It was only the last of these that caught on.
It's almost unbelievable that before Charles Darwin invented evolution in 1859, no one had ever evolved. Without him, none of us would be here today, except in the...
So she is okay with like straight up saying things that aren't even true. If you were watching this and you didn't even know it was a comedy, imagine if you just, like for some Americans, if they just stumbled upon Philomena Cunk and her series, they might just think it's like real because there's no laugh track in the background. There's no acknowledgement of the jokes. They're relying on the viewer to understand that it's funny and sarcastic and ironic and fake. But I'm afraid a lot of Americans might not even like realize that this is satire, actually, because it is like presented so like well, so straight face, you know?
In the form of fossils or gibbons.
This is the National Theatre. It's designed to look so horrible that people are glad to be inside watching boring plays.
Oh, really?
Today, Britain stands at a fork in its crossroads, and its people are asking questions. Now we've got our country back. What actually is it? Who are we, and why?
Wow.
You know when you...
What was that? That was just very philosophical. Wow. Philomena Cunk, philosophical moment. Wow.
read a word in a book and you sort of hear that word in your head.
Mm-hmm.
How do they get the sounds into the ink to make it play in your head?
Well,
she wrote.
This guy was literally about to answer her, too. Like, he was about to actually try to answer that question.
To make it play in your head.
Well,
she wrote, "The world to an end will come in 1881, a claim which has recently been debunked by experts through a careful process of looking around and seeing the world still here."
Wow.
Today, some people choose to turn the outside of their homes into a giant advent crown.
Yes.
A jolly house covered in electric lights may be expensive and use a lot of power, but it's the perfect way to cheer up a world worried about climate change and dwindling resources. Queen
Is that the purpose of Christmas decorations? To let us all forget about the horrors of the world for a little bit. Yeah, maybe that is.
Elizabeth I got a crown screwed on here in Westminster Abbey.
What? Huh? What?
It was in this ship.
Was that trip on... Wait a minute. Now, this is meta. Was this little stumble on purpose? Was the trip on purpose?
It was in this ship Drake became the first person to circumcise the globe, which is probably why this sort of ship is called a clipper. People genuinely...
Some of these jokes are like a little, I don't know, lowbrow, you could say. There's a huge range of jokes that she does. Some are like really clever. Some are like almost like potty humor or like dad humor. Some are jokes that, like I'm saying, like you might not even know it's a joke if you're not paying attention. Just huge variety of jokes and comedy styles. I like it a lot.
Many believed witches were amongst them, their fear fueled by leaked photos like this. Did an explorer ever try to sail into the sky? You know, find a bit of sea that's sort of going up and...
No.
We're often told to feel...
It's also dependent on her perfect delivery as well. The whole show wouldn't work so well if she didn't... She's a great actor, because I know, like, this is a performance. Like, this isn't the way she is, I'm pretty sure. And she's just so believable.
Explorer ever tried to sail into the sky? You know, find a bit of sea that's sort of going up and...
Oh, yeah.
No.
We're often told to feel sorry for those who are alone at Christmas. But these days, that's all of us, and it's brilliant. Why did Nelson always have one hand up his jumper? What was he doing up there?
Who? Nelson?
He'd lost most of his right arm, so...
The pagans celebrated the solstice by cutting down holly and ivy and dragging it into their homes, along with a giant Yule log which they'd set fire to. It sounds
What?
rubbish, but with no app store to speak of, killing trees and plants was as good as entertainment got, even at Christmas.
Right.
Despite being the stuff of nightmares, Santa is the world's most popular home intruder.
Well, they happen to find the literal scariest. This is the scariest version of Santa I've ever seen. They're wearing a Santa Claus mask. This would be terrifying as a home intruder.
The stuff of nightmares.
Ah!
Santa is the world's most popular home intruder.
True.
But at Christmas 1914, there was a brief ceasefire. The fighting stopped. Soldiers got out of their holes and joined together in a place called No Man's Land, showing that even at moments of peace, men will still divide into two sides and try to beat one another.
Okay. And there we have it. That's it. That was so good. She is so freaking funny. So good. I am so glad that I kind of discovered her as an American. Like, I had never heard of her, like I said, till up until like a few weeks ago, all the way through my entire life. Never heard of Philomena Cunk. I think she's pretty popular, pretty well known in British culture, I think. Her video has a lot of views. This video of her best moments had like 4.6 million views. So she's obviously very popular and successful, and I totally understand why. This video is by that guy Jeremy, and I gotta give it a like, because I liked that very much. That was, oh man. I was really interested to kind of come back to Philomena Cunk after getting introduced to her, and, you know, get to see a little more of her work and what she's done and what it's all about, and it is so good. Like, I've actually never even seen a full episode of her show, like, from start to finish. That'd be kind of interesting. I've just seen these clips, but she is so funny. It is so unique, and I'm a fan. I am literally a fan of her now. I enjoyed this so much. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on Philomena Cunk and her best moments, or any other moments she's had that didn't make this video that maybe I should check out. That'd be great to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and British culture and stuff about Britain and in Britain that I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.